as much as I wanted to take your time, I know that this is a rare occasion for you to meet a Grandmaster champion of chess, and I'll give the floor to Susan.
Okay, it's my pleasure now to introduce to you the person who's really the mover and shaker behind many events such as this. She's an untiring, relentless organizer. She is responsible for making sure that boys and girls and really chess players of all ages have a place to play. Her name is well known worldwide. She comes from a very well-known, famous family in Hungary. We have kidnapped her, so sorry about that. And her titles, it would take up most of the evening if I were to recite her entire resume here. But she is a former women's world champion, and she was the first woman. The International Chess Federation has different standards for obtaining the highest title. That title is International Grandmaster. Susan was the very first one to earn the so-called men's title. It's with a great deal of pleasure I introduce to you one of the great persons in chess, both in Hungary, in the United States, and in the world, and a good friend of mine, Susan Polgar.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so touched and can hardly find words how much it means to me to be here with all of you tonight. But before anything else, I'd like to thank so much the generosity of the Hungarian consulate here in New York, and specifically the newly nominated Consul General, Mr. Károly Dan, for graciously hosting us. It's a real honor and pleasure to be here on behalf of the Susan Polgar Foundation. And this idea came up actually when still the previous Consul General was here, Mr. Viktor Polgar, who happened to have the same last name as my family, although we were not related. But I actually had a very good connection with the Hungarian consulate ever since I first moved here in 1994, and the Consul General changed every several years. But my connection and the good relationship with the consulate remain. And I'm very happy and thankful that it seems that it's continuing, if not even getting better. I think it was really, really generous and great from Consul General to offer to host future events related to chess and to the Susan Polgar Foundation. And I think we will take you up on the offer. Thank you very much. Also, Consul General has referred to the fact that he knows everything about our family, and we had a short first conversation. We just met actually about an hour ago for the first time, since he is so brand new in town, and he reminded me of my very first official public boyfriend. So he really knew everything about me. He asked me if it's true. Yeah, I said yes, it's true. So anyway, talking on different issues about the foundation and why we're here tonight. About 8 years ago, the idea was born to create a foundation to be able to advance chess further in the United States. As many of you probably know, chess is not as popular in the US as it is in Hungary or many countries in Europe. And having a European-Hungarian background, I certainly felt that this needs to be changed. And that was basically the general idea when the foundation was established, thanks to the nagging and encouragement, rather, of several friends of mine at the time, Mr. Frank Nero, and I'd like to point out Michael Cohen, who is one of our very first board members. And the foundation got established in 2002. We got our 501c3 status about a year later, and we immediately after that started to be very active in especially promoting chess for girls. Because that's one of the things that has been mostly lacking, I would say, in the United States, and even worldwide, I would say. Attention or opportunities for girls in the world of chess. Chess has largely been viewed as a male-dominated sport, and especially in my childhood, if you looked at the top ranking, or top 100, or top 1,000, or maybe even top 10,000, you would hardly see a woman being there. And myself, and then later my sisters, we were pioneers on trying to change that trend and showing the road that, yes, it is possible for girls to be successful in the world of chess if they put their mind to it. And of course, it goes beyond chess. Chess is just an example in this case, but it could also refer to sciences or other elements which are male-dominated. So initially our focus was mostly on girls, although over the years we expanded our horizon and we more focused actually on getting chess in the schools as an educational tool. Because I strongly believe, and I'm very passionate about the fact that chess can change young people's minds. Chess can set a tone, a thinking process that can be very helpful throughout their academic years and later in their lives. In being more organized, more logical in their thinking, planning ahead, paying attention to all the details, decision making in chess. Every single move is a new decision to make. These are life skills that we need to deal with, react to on a daily basis. And I personally believe, and so do many educators around the country and around the world, who believe in this. And I'm hoping, in fact I believe, that the fact that you're all here already means to some degree that you support this concept, that you will support this idea and the goals and the project of the foundation. So that's one major area that the foundation is focusing on, getting chess in the schools as an educational tool. The other area that I am personally also passionate about is trying to raise the general visibility, respectability, and popularity of our beloved game. Because it's kind of, imagine if we have all those kids who eventually will be playing chess in the schools, there will be maybe a 1% or 1% of a 1%, if the number is huge, of kids who will fall in love with the game enough to try to make a career in chess. And I hope and wish that one day chess will have the respect and the recognition and accordingly the rewards as other sports like golf or tennis, just to mention a few, not to talk of activities like poker that are much better paid than chess today. So that's in a nutshell kind of the goals and aims of the foundation. A couple of things that despite this being the very first fundraiser we ever have, you'd be surprised. But we accomplished a lot already in the past 7 years, thanks to the generosity of several of our donors and supporters. We, for example, awarded over $1 million in scholarships to various universities for chess players who excel at chess and otherwise perhaps couldn't have afforded university education. We have organized the Spice Cup series, which is coming up in 2 weeks actually, which has been the highest rated professional international tournament in the US history for 3 years in a row. And I'd like to point out one of the big supporters of that event for the past 3 years, and that's Mr. John Krummeler. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm going a little bit here and there as I remember things, but I also would like to welcome actually 2 of our VIP guests and good friends of mine, Lev Albert, Grandmaster. I think most of you he needs little introduction, but some of you maybe don't know who he is. He's a Grandmaster and he was one of the very first defectors at the